Alright guys, so we're back for another Dokkan battle video, and I'm not quite done going over a lot of the units that came out along with the Ultra Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I believe there's still 2 units that I actually need to do a video on. Now the first one is the one we're going to be working on today. This is the INT Cell, the summonable unit that is actually on the Goku banner, who is farmable, so we'll go ahead and raise his super attack up right now. And I believe I also have to do a video on this EGL Hellfighter 17. I don't think I did a video on him. Y'all have to forgive me. The Global 3 Anniversary got so hyped that really got me off track. But anyway, let's go ahead and feed in all of the cells so we can get this man up to a 3 SA10. Now, one thing that's for damn sure that is very, very nice is anytime they release a unit that is farmable. You know, for just, you know, basically grinding a little bit, you can save Elder Kais, which especially for like a free-to-play player or something like that, is incredibly valuable. So I always do recommend... Oh, actually, let's awaken him first. This will save training items by not leveling him up and then just level him up while feeding in the dupes, because you have to level him up so it's a 100% chance anyway. So doing it the way I did saved good amount of training items, because I actually have used, I've used like 160 million, 170 million in like the last couple weeks. You guys can see my Zenny up there. It was at like 370 million like 2 weeks ago or something like that. But I've completely cleared my box out. Like, I basically have nothing in my box except for the units I want to keep and like 80 Elder Kais. And then I guess the Jackie Chuns, because I still need to do that video. But like, my box is completely cleared out. I don't have like random dupes sitting around or anything like that. I'm not saving up like Super Saiyan 4 Gogetas in case there's an LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, nothing like that. So I wanted to clean my box up for my box showcase video. But all right, let's go ahead and feed in the last 5. So this man is now SA10. So now we can go ahead and Dokkan awaken him. Now that he is SA10, and then we'll go ahead and run an event with him. I figure we'll do it on the villain team. That's probably the best place, actually, for these Frieza and Cell units. So, alright, he is Dokkan awakened. Let me just feed in the dupes I have. Oh, wait. Actually, I fucked up. I didn't feed the dupes in before awakening him. Oh, well. Whatever. I'm going to feed the dupes in. I'm going to level him up. And then we will be right back with him on the villain team. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and hop into a stage like this. And we're going to go into one of the earlier stages of Boss Rush, because in order for Cell's potential to be shown, the enemy does have to be stunned. Now, again, this is why I do think the Frieza unit is a little better, because it's a lot easier for enemies to get sealed if they can be sealed, right? But, you know, stunning is a % chance for it to actually activate. So what I did was I brought alongside with us a number of units who are capable of stunning. And then once we can actually get these fuckers stunned, at that point we could see what Cell is capable of doing. And I also brought the physical Frieza also, so we could hopefully see him sort of be able to get that the stun off, and then for Cell to actually be able to bring out his best. Now, I want to try and avoid, like, super attacks with, like, the Rosés as much as possible, but, I mean, as part of the villain team, they're probably going to dominate. Alright, so, like, see right here, Goldo, right off the bat, Goldo has a medium chance to stun, and he did manage to get this fucker stunned, but guess what? Rosé instantly blows him away. That's kind of the problem here, is that in order to get, like, these stuns off in some of these fights, like, we have to go to weaker enemies who then just, like, die instantly against this level of power. So, we'll see. Hopefully, Frieza. Maybe I should... Nah, because Cell's going to share a lot more links with the Frieza. Hopefully, Frieza can get the stun off. We'll know for sure if Frieza does get the stun off on the Goku, which he did. Well, I saw it right there. But the attack stat would jump up like so. So, Cell's attack stat almost 800,000. So, what happens... Wow, that's pretty good damage right there. What happens when the enemy does get stunned is Cell goes from having an attack buff of 80% to an attack buff of 180%, and he also basically becomes a Gogeta unit where he's super effective against enemies. So that's like really, really nice. I'm gonna go ahead and push Rose off rotation here because Rose is just gonna be like instantly killing like any of these fuckers, especially this Rose because he's 100% in the dupe system. Now I brought Goldo, who has a medium chance to stun. Global players will be able to farm this guy very, very soon. I also did bring Turles, who's another unit who actually does have a medium chance to stun, but I also have him rainbowed, so he's gonna be blowing fuckers away. But the Cell and the Frieza unit, like, I do like the idea of like what they did with these units, but one thing I've been saying as I've been using these guys is it just really is not it's not too practical. Like, you're not going to be able to get these the stuns off the way you want to. Now the Frieza, I would say that the Frieza definitely works a little better just because of how easy it can be to seal, right? Like, if you could just attack with an enemy, like a unit that seals, the fucker is sealed. But like, see right there, wait, is he stunned? Because Cell's attack stat was at 700,000. That makes me think, yeah, he did get stunned. He had to have, yeah. But okay, so back to back, Frieza stunned both times. I believe Frieza also has a medium chance to stun. Ooh, I could have both Turleses right there. Yeah, that's a pretty good rotation. Both of the Turleses with their stuns. Because the INT Turles, he actually has a 50% chance to get a stun off. Another unit, I could have brought General Blue. General Blue has what, I believe a 70% chance to stun? It's been a long time since I've busted out General Blue. There may eventually in the future be another event where that General Blue card could be useful. You never know. Alright, so we've been seeing what Cell's attack stat is. Let me have Cell go first. Let's go for... Let's hit Frieza right here. And then hopefully... I don't think Cell will one-hit or quitter the Frieza. And then we can see what the GT Final Form Frieza's attack stat is going to look like. Let me know what you guys think of these cards. Again, I'm not really blown away by them, but one good thing about these cards coming out is the fact of their free-to-play versions. The free-to-play versions are just absolute monsters. I absolutely love those cards, and they do work very good if you want to use those units on either Extreme Int or Extreme Physical, because you could use them as partners for each other rather than what I'm doing here, where I'm using, you know, the Physical Frieza and the Int Cell together, right? So I don't know how much I like. I do want to give Akatsuki props, right? Because it's an interesting little gimmick rather than just like releasing like, you know, just another hard hitter, right? Or something like that. Like, they actually did try something. So that does give me more positive hope looking towards the future, you know. Dokkan has had many updates and upgrades as of late. And I do like to see it, you know, continuing to push in the right direction. So I do like the concept of the Cell and Frieza. I just don't think it's too practical whenever you're going to go into, you know, very difficult events or anything too crazy like that. So here, let's just have the Frieza keep doing it. We'll try and get Cell to have that, you know, super effective damage. The other thing too is they do get a defense, like, their passive is the same. You know, they get the attack and defensive buff of 80% right off the bat. But I remember when I used the Cell on the private, like, I wasn't too impressed by their defense. It didn't seem like, I don't know if maybe their defensive stat just isn't that high. Yeah, they should be fine. Like, if you rainbow these units, they should be able to mitigate damage quite well. I mean, with 80%, that's not, like, exactly small. So that, I guess, is another positive thing about these units here. We got a Dokkan attack. That's not really... Dokkan attack is not exactly the most important thing to get right here. I mean, especially on this old-ass stage of Boss Rush, going up against the, you know, Tech Golden Frieza. I remember when Tech Golden Frieza first came out on Global, how difficult that shit was. Oh, boy. And now it's just like, you just absolutely obliterate this stage. It's so funny. But, alright, get Frieza. Goodbye, my son. Goodbye. So we'll probably finish off Tech Golden Frieza, and then at that point I will go over the Cell in depth. Now, one thing I do really like about both of the Frieza and Cell units is their links are actually pretty good. Like, they did give them, like, Shocking Speed and Nightmare, so that definitely, like, will help them in a lot of cases on some events like this. Let's have Cell go first, and then we'll let Frieza go ahead and get the extra super mega damage. Yeah, I remember the fear going up against Tech Gold and Frieza when he first came out. Like, the only God team I could run was, you know, the Super Vegito AGL team. So it's like, you gotta pray that Golden Frieza does not Super Vegito, or it's it's not good. But goodbye, Frieza. It was fun, my boy. Oof, man. The fact, seeing these just like normal, like unfeatured SSR kind of cards, like really bust out those million damage hits, though, it is like stunning. Like, holy shit, they really are capable of hitting pretty damn hard. Okay, so at this point, let's go ahead. Oh, Turles. Yo, I was just... It's funny how that works out. I was just about to go over Cell, but alright, so we'll finish up my boy Final Form Frieza on this suicide stage right here. You know what's funny is, if the Great Ape wasn't able to defeat him, Frieza on the suicide stage would not be able to take us down, though, even though, like, the Great Ape would be immune to his, like, you know, one-hitter-quitter attack. That is funny. So, alright, we'll move into the last stage, and then I want to take a look at Cell, kind of break them down. Again, one of the sort of underrated things about these units is their links. Both the Cell and the Frieza do have pretty good links. Cell, maybe Cell not quite as much because he has a lot of the bad Cell links that he usually has. But let's take a look at him. So, this is Groaning Hatred, Cell Perfect Form, GT. His leader skill is Extreme Int types Key 2, HP, attack, and defense 90%. So that's actually pretty good. That'll be very useful for Dokkan Battlefield. I'm sure some people might have like kind of a fresh account, and for them to be able to run this Cell as either a leader or a sub-leader skill, I think will help out a lot in Dokkan Battlefield. So his super attack is the Hell Buster, which does supreme damage and also seals the enemy super attack. Of course, that's to be used in tandem with the physical Frieza Final Form GT card, where, you know, Cell sealing the enemy will allow Frieza to do the crazy damage. And then, you know, you could also have it where Cell stunning... Wait, no. Cell sealing the enemy allows Frieza to do crazy damage. And then Frieza stunning the enemy allows Cell to do crazy damage. Kind of works that way. So, Cell's passive, Devil in Hell, is attack and defense 80% at the start of turn, which is pretty good. You know, just as a baseline, that is a good number, right? So they will definitely be able to contribute, even though, you know, they probably aren't going to get the second part of their passive that often. So the second part of his passive is he gets an additional 100% attack, and attacks become effective against all types when the enemy is stunned. So again, he basically turns into INT or STR Gogeta, where, you know, it's effective against all types, which is really nice, true. But again, enemies being stunned, kind of difficult to get that to happen, especially on the newer events where a lot of enemies just can't be stunned, period. So his links are Gentlemen, Brainiacs. Those two aren't really going to help. But then you get Shocking Speed, which is really good. Ultimate Life Form also is not great, but then you also do have Nightmare, GT, and Shatting Limit. Yeah, Frieza definitely has superior links, because the Frieza race links are going to come into play a lot more than Ultimate Life Form, Brainiacs, and Gentlemen. I think the other thing that does hurt these guys, they really should have, like, okay, the same way the Kid Goku got Fierce Battle, because he gets story event medals, as well as the Super Saiyan 4 Ultra Full Power Goku medals. I think the Cell and Frieza, they should have required a small amount of Super 17 medals, because they are, you know, from the Super 17 saga, or even just medals from, you know, the Cell boss fight or the Full Power Frieza boss fight. They should have required those medals and gotten Fierce Battle instead of Shattering Limit. That would have helped these guys out a lot. At that point with Fierce Battle, they would have been able to break a 1 million attack stat. But as of right now, if they don't get their, like, the second part of their passive, they're not really able to break 1 million attack stat, which does hurt. Which is surprising, because their 12 key multiplier is 150%. That's, like, really good. That's what, like, top tier Dokkan Fests get. Like, you know, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, the tech one, his 12 key multiplier is 150%. So that certainly is interesting. And also, last thing, it's very shameful, but this man does not have any categories at the moment. Will he get a category? I don't know. Probably so. But, I mean, we'll see. I'm just waiting for that Android category. The Android category, there's so many different versions of the Android category team I want to test out. Hopefully, Majin Android 21 comes out and she's the Android category leader. That would be so sick. Or maybe like an LR Cell or something. We'll see. But regardless, guys, that will do it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.